So as I've mentioned before, I have bipolar disorder, and one of the things about having bipolar disorder is that even when you're treatment compliant, you're well medicated, you have days that are better and days that are worse, and some days you're kind of like there's an extended period of time where you're in a slump, and you know, sometimes like something's not right, something isn't good, something is really not right. And you just kind of sit there and you're like, maybe it's gonna get better, maybe it's gonna get better. Because one of the things is that generally the second that I tell people I'm having a problem, it resolves on its own. And for reasons I don't understand, instead of then saying, hey, I have a problem, to try to trigger my brain into resolving this problem on its own, what I end up doing is just like never mentioning it. And then when I do mention it, when I do say I've been having a really bad time right now, I've been having a lot of trouble doing things, I can't make a YouTube video where I don't look like I'm falling the frick apart. You go through that and you go, oh, this is, once you hit that point and then it goes away, it's like, why did I tell anybody? That was all fake. And that's not how that works. That's not how fake works. But sometimes you just can't sit there and you hit a point where you're like, I've been waiting for this to get better and it's not getting better, and I've been waiting for this to get better and it's not getting better, and I've been waiting for this to get better, and it's just gonna get worse the longer time goes on. You know what else is gonna get worse the longer time goes on? This pork tenderloin I found in my freezer that says it's from 2103. I thought it said 2013. My mom has a way of labeling stuff, but based on it being, it can't be from 2013 now that I think about it, because we had to throw out the entire contents of our freezer when serial arsonist PG&E cut our power off for several days. So I'm assuming that what this actually means is 21 would be this year and 03 would be March. I have an aunt who is convinced that this is the superior way to cook meat, and that all meat can be improved with the usage of the immersion heater. The Sauce Vide. Why shouldn't I? I've never done this before. I don't know the proper instructions. I know that we own one of these and that my mom doesn't use it to cook, but I have a theory. This drying out, slowly dying pork tenderloin, I have a feeling that if I've got that and I put it in the sous vide, I will end up with food. Somebody pointed out that this name of car is not Porsche, it's 2 syllables, so it is in fact Porsche. We're just gonna take the whole thing. Do we sear? Okay, we sear afterwards. Yeah, that looks like normal meat normal people eat. I think this is the right way to add Italian herbs. I just put that on there. And then, say, brine it. So we add salt water. I'm gonna use iodized salt because it's convenient, and because my grandma used to just insist that that was the way to do it. So I don't know if I'm supposed to thaw the pork first, but I'm not going to. I'm not reading this entire instructable. Okay. That's our briny pork. My grandma used to have this like insistence about how to brine things, and she was so intense about that. I'm pretty sure I could like sauce vide the pork and then not sear it for several days, just put it in my fridge. I don't really like pork tenderloin. I just saw this and it looked so sad. See, one of the things that I'll do that's sort of unnecessary when I'm having like bad times is I will find myself assigning personality to various things. I'll be like, oh, that is a poor, this poor tenderloin is so sad. Why is it so sad? I do like me some garlic, but I think I'm gonna saute it in the garlic when I sear it, when it's out of the sous vide. I don't think this is actually gonna be a particularly funny video. It might be kind of like that one where I tried to Is that at the minimum line? Not remotely. Tried to win a vacuum cleaner by just talking for 45 minutes. That one was weirdly entertaining. I found this thing that I wasn't sure what it was. I was not sure what this thing was, and so I had to Google it, and I was looking this up going, oh god, please don't be like a porn device. Do you need more water still? Do you need... What do I do to feed you? Oh shit. I was looking it up and it had a USB on one end. I said, okay, this is probably not for porn. Any of my friends who do sex work, please let me know. Let me know if there are porn things that have USBs on them, but please do not tell me what they are. My poor little asexual ass cannot handle that. And we put this in. And I'm just gonna let that happen. Using a sous vide immersion circulator, preheat the water. I'm not preheating this water. Season pork generously with salt and pepper, along with half of herbs, garlics, shallots, and distribute evenly. Was there not supposed to be brine in there? Target temp. We're gonna go 131 because we don't like... There's a thing we casually refer to in my family as pooshy. Pooshy is when you cook pork tenderloin, but you get into an argument with your grandmother and or mother and or father about how long the pork tenderloin should cook for, and as a result you are served raw pork tenderloin. This is pooshy. This is from the side of the family where my aunt is a big fan of the sous vide. I don't know the connection between pooshy and the sous vide, but for those of you who've never gotten sous videology 101, the idea is that all food has an ideal temperature, and if you can safely keep the food at that temperature, it will not cook beyond the ideal. So if you want it to reach 130 degrees, then if you put it at 130 degrees, it doesn't matter if it's there for 1 hour or 5 hours, as long as all of it reaches 130, and it doesn't get hotter than that, then it can continue to cook forever, and it will not get past medium rare. So it will not be undercooked, but it won't be overcooked. That's the idea behind the sous vide. In the South vide, sounds like house bidet. I'm in the United States, we don't have bidets, they're like a novelty thing. I don't want any novelty things in my bathroom. I have plenty of novelty towels in my bathroom, that's not the same. Target temp at 132.5. Science. The sous vide is supposed to solve the problem between wanting pork not cooked and wanting to eat cooked pork. And my grandfather used to repeatedly tell us that you don't need to cook it to 165, that's a thing from the past. And be like, I'm from the past, I know. And we would just like, you're like, yes, but we don't want to eat raw meat. Oh, I guess I could tell you guys the story of my most recent COVID scare. So I did get vaccinated. The first vaccine was really awful, and then the second one was kind of fine. But the second one I did know to ask for the day of and the day off from work, and the first one was like, I'll get injected and go back to work after my lunch break. And then I had a period of time where I was in the freight room, lying down on a flat bed crying because I was just that uncomfortable. It was great. Sitting there, I'm like, yeah, I'm the manager on duty and I'm having a meltdown. Which is not as good as the time that I was actually having like my worst manic episode in a long time. I did a video about that. And so there was me, the low-level managers, higher managers, manager's boss, manager's boss's boss, manager's boss's boss's boss, manager's boss's 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 boss, and then there is Kirk. And Kirk is like, somehow he's above all of them, but also not above all of them because his job is to be in charge of security. And he was coming in and making sure that things like our security cameras worked. I'm the only manager there. I'm in the middle of my quality, for those of you who don't know, like a quality manic episode is gonna last several days. It's not like a 1 or 2 day thing. It's not a 4-hour event unless you are rapid cycling, which is worse. But, so I'm having a moment where, like, I would get really easily overwhelmed, and so I would have to be staying off the registers. I did a lot of, like, waiting for curbside pickup to come in, because then I could sit down and breathe, which is not a thing you normally get to do when you're one of the key holders and the manager on duty in retail hell. I had to step back into the office, and I was just, like, having a meltdown. So there's this wheelie chair here, and I'm like this, and I'm sobbing. And Kirk comes into the office, and that is how I introduced myself to him, was like, hi, I'm crying. He's like, you okay? And I said, yeah. Like, do you need to get the manager? I'm like, I am the manager. I'm the only one here. If you have a problem, you gotta deal with me. Let me blow my nose. You know, that's fine. That's fine. It was not a good month. It was like 3.5 weeks where I was just barely functioning. So this time isn't that bad. But, like, you know, you can kind of see it in the last video where I just talked about the vortex, where there's, like, multiple times where I feel like I'm just losing my thread and I can't get it back. And, like, I'm trying to have energy and be happy, and I just can't pull it off. And, like, right now, clearly I have energy, but I don't know if I'm happy. Actually, I think if I was happy and I knew it. But that reminds me... Oh, hey! Everything's falling to pieces. What do I do to make it better? This is all just like melted whipped cream, and it is from 10:52 and 15 seconds a.m. and it is 4:20. Nice. So like right now it's, you know, a whole different situation, but I was like, I don't know how to. I can't really force out a video I can't force out a YouTube video if I'm really not feeling it. Like, I can't make it happen if I can't do it. I will film it, I'll reach a point where I look at it and I go, oh, that's just not funny, that's not entertaining, it's not high energy enough, it goes too slow. And that's funny, because, like, you think I would have some high energy. I have a tendency to have high energy. But, no, I feel like I should really wrap this pot with something insulating. Let me get a towel. I sell sewing machines now, and I have a history of being, I mean, not a long history, I've only been with the company a little bit, but I'm really good at selling sergers, and that is because I sew on sergers. And so I can sell them because when people ask questions, I know the answer, and I can work on them, I can work on my own projects on them, and it comes out just fine, because I know what I'm doing, and I know what my, I can make them look good. I can make a serger look good. And that's nice. I'm not sure I like this really harsh break between the two. But you know what? This is not purple, it's bubblegum. We're gonna go with that. Hi, Teensy Buttons. Teensy. Nobody better have peed in here. Okay, I'd be playing Wind Waker. Here's the thing. I would be playing The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. It's what I play. I could just sit there and play it and talk, because I know that that's a kind of like video that people put out. And sometimes if I'm just sitting there talking, I say interesting things. Like today I told you guys about Pooshi. I didn't graduate from college. I don't know where that thing is. I've been looking for that thing while I'm like walking around telling stupid stories. But it would have been really cool. I just play Zoldo and talk, but apparently instead I just look for this absolutely obsolete capture card. It's an eagle. I don't know whose eagle that is. I don't know what I'm doing. So this is a live cat trap. I stole my neighbor's cat, but all I did was take him to the vet. I guess my hair doesn't look that bad. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so side note, I have played Wind Waker up until Puppet Ganon probably 100 times. I think I've beat Puppet Ganon like 4 or 5 times. We have 3 GameCubes down here. Why do we have 3 GameCubes down here? My mom and I both clean stuff by collecting huge amounts of crap and then one day getting mad and throwing out a bunch of stuff that we didn't actually want to throw away. I guess I could like play ambient music on the keytar and talk, That's probably the best one. Get the looping pedal involved. Just play some ambient music on the keytar while I talk. See, that's the problem, is like you can kind of tell maybe it's gonna be worse or better once I edit this, but like my brain jumps all over the damn place. And so one of the things that'll happen when I'm like having teensy buttons. That's teensy buttons. That's teensy buttons. You cleaning your butt? Teensy. She's really cute, I just want to say. Teensy, really cute. Are you coming over here? She doesn't like when you pet her, but... Am I getting to pet you? What's up? See, she doesn't want to be petted. She want to be around me. But she doesn't want to be petted. Okay, so, like, I don't know if you can see, but one of the things that'll happen to a lot of people who are dealing with depression symptoms is that, like, your brain will latch onto and let go of concepts very, very quickly. And so you can end up spending a lot of time focusing on something that doesn't matter, while something that's important to do gets, like, forgotten. Fun fact, if you spend $11,000 on an embroidery machine, it's so easy a kid can use it. And if you go down to the next one, which is $3,000, you will hate yourself for trying to use it. Do you want the floor model? And... I don't remember where that went. Hey, if you're wondering if I could have managed my time better, yes, I could have, but unfortunately at the point where I realized that I could have managed my time better, I had already squandered it, and so I can't do anything now. I'm gonna learn for this for later. But yeah, I'm as sorry as I can get right now. Because one of the things I've had to learn about myself is how to identify, like, oh, these are depressive, these are like depressive symptoms, and if it's not my fault, then I can't hate myself for it. I can be frustrated, I can be disappointed, I can be annoyed that there's this thing going on that I can't do, and I can try to figure out how to do it later, but I'm gonna have depressive periods for the rest of my life at some point, and I need to know that when I have something that I can't handle, that's not my fault. I can take accountability for, I will not do that next, I will do what I can to not do it again, but I'm not gonna, sorry, the cuticle was just driving me nuts there. But I'm not gonna sit down and just like, not, you know, be like, oh, I'm not gonna sit down and take someone telling me that I fucked up that bad, and I'm like, I know, and trust me, I'm not gonna do it again in the exact same way. I'll do something to make it work better, but do you wanna give me a reasons you suck speech, or do you want improvement out of me? I can't for the life of me, this is clearly circulating water there, but I can't find out what part of it has like a fan or something. I don't know how it's circulating. Are you allowed to do this? I could Google it. The instructions are down there. And so that's one of those things where, like, I don't think this is as big of a deal in reality as my brain wants it to be. I don't think that anybody actually cares about this to the extent that I do. But did I? I'm pretty sure I took my thyroid pill this morning. Cause like that's the fun thing about having like long-term illness. It's like I have illness, primary pills, secondary illness from pills, secondary pills to treat illness from primary pills treating illness. It's great. And I was like, maybe I'll write music, but I know that if I try, like my brain is not gonna fire properly and I'm just gonna get mad at myself. So yeah, maybe I'll Maybe I'll come back and find something cool to put in the rest of this video, but right now it's just 44 minutes of me talking about stuff. Because I can't put out a real video, like, I don't know what to do. You'd think after a month it would go away, but it sure hasn't. It's like, you know, I'm already maxed out on a lot of my pills. I don't know what I'd do. Like, if I called my doctor and he's like, hey, you gotta change this. It's like, what are we gonna do? Put me on some completely new thing? You know, up my lithium again? I don't know. Let's grab Mitty the Keytar cat. Yes. You're good kitty, aren't you? Do you know why Midnight lives with me? Do you know why the Keytar kitty lives with me? Because everybody else who has ever owned her has tried to rehome her. And I will not rehome you. Okay? I don't care if that means we have to live in shitty, expensive apartments. I don't care if that means that you have to go with me on a car trip across the country. She's actually been on an airplane before and she did a really good job. Teensy and Midnight do not get along because they have both been waiting for the other cat to declare themselves top cat. So, look at that, that's Midnight, huh? So yeah, I'm not gonna rehome you. I'm just gonna stick with you until you die. Even though you're annoying. Like, the things cats do that is the reason why non-cat people don't like cats. Midnight does all of them. Okay, it's been 2.5 hours, and since I still can't figure out what I'm doing, here is the cast iron pan that has not been washed in 41 years. Getting as hot as it can possibly get, because the thing I know about cooking things in the South Side is that you get to sear stuff incredibly high temperatures, because you don't need to actually cook them, you just need to brown them. So I'm getting this hot. Then this thing, which looking at it is making me uncomfortable, is gonna just go in the pan. I want this to be really hot though. It's too bad the camera was not framing that properly because I did just touch the pan. Okay, let's see. I don't think that's hot enough, but whatever. And then we'll just flip it over, turn that on so we don't have the heat. I guess we'll make some, I think I screenshotted instructions for a glaze somewhere. Oh, see, I have so many things on my desktop that they just stack up in the corner there. So let's get some of this shit going. So this white wine has kind of gone bad. I've been told I don't drink, so like, whew, I'm just tipping that camera all over the fuck. Fun fact, I really shouldn't be doing this because I'm a bad wrist. Seems like a lot of wine. Maybe I'll put some weird instrumental track over this and call it a day. Like, if the wine went bad and you don't want to drink it, you can still use it in a sauce, right? Like, that's okay. Like on a good day, I'll be able to tell you what the difference between like dry and wet wines are, but like I think all of them are pretty wet. Some of this, because probably not all of it. Okay. So then let's get that back up to boiling. So this stove has like 2 burner settings, and that is rocket engine and dragon sniffles. Like, you got a dragon, but he's not really feeling good, and he kind of like sniffles into a handkerchief and catches it on fire. Okay, so that's some fat. And as we all know, mustard is an emulsifier, and it will make the fat and the liquid in your thing play nice with each other. I don't know how much mustard you're supposed to use. I can remember the science without remembering how it works. Cool, and then we'll just let that cook down. Maybe cheat and add cornstarch, you know? I have some Cracker Barrel biscuits. Put this over here. These on this. And then we don't forget about the biscuits. Yeah, that is not looking like a sauce to me, so we're gonna, again, put it back on the small burner. And then, and I know that like, I one time had somebody find me a recipe that was called roasted shank of lamb with au jus juice sauce. And I'm not sure I've ever forgiven that person on some level for that. But since we already have this out, we might as well. You keep on cooking there, buddy. So, yeah, we might cheat. Look, there's nothing wrong with making a sauce in this manner. Okay? Nothing. Ooh, it's trying to be lumpy now. Do not be lumpy. The acid in the bad wine now tastes like lemon. We will not forget about the biscuits. I'm not gonna carve it on the thing. I don't know how long it's been resting for. Probably long enough. I guess we could go around the house and talk again. Y'all seem to have enjoyed that the last time. Yeah, we got some sauce. I'll eat that. This can... Did you guys see how good that catch was? Did you see how good that catch was? Someone's gonna have to take one for the team and chug that, and it's not gonna be me. You guys done yet? Yeah, you guys are done. Made some juice while it was resting, which it's usually not supposed to do, but I guess that's because I basically boiled it. The more I think about it, the more I probably should not have put water in the bag. But you know what, I'm not paid to be good at this. I shouldn't have wrapped it in the foil, I should have just, this is just soggy pork. I should have like, done literally anything else. I'm so good at this. I don't know if you saw me just throw that on the floor. We need a dog. We had a real good dog, and she got dead. Alright, food's done. I didn't plate yours because I wasn't sure if you'd want to microwave it. cooked it, and then I put it on the pan, so it did get cooked more than the 130. Alright, well. Hi folks, editing me here. If you made it to this part of the video, congratulations, you sat through the entire video, and it was kind of boring, so I'm glad you enjoyed this awesome date night with me. My mom did not need to microwave the pork, she was actually quite happy with it. We shared some with our neighbor. I'm so tired. I'm editing this video at the very last minute to get it out by the end of July, which is tomorrow. If you liked this audio track, you can get it. Wasn't good, but if you liked it, you can download it for the price of joining the Patreon. I'm so tired. I'm still feeling dead inside, and I just want to get through today, get this video up. So you can always follow me on Instagram and Twitter at ApollyGs. I swear it's a funny pun. Join the Patreon over at Pink and the Keytar Cat. Thank you for watching this. If you made it all the way to the fine end of this video, please include the phrase "a fine mess" somewhere in your comment, because that's one of my favorite episodes of Code Lyoko and also a descriptor of what this episode was. So we will do Keytar stuff next month, I promise. I will get over this, I will figure out what I'm doing, I will get through this somehow, and we will do actual Keytar content next month. I'm planning on reviewing the entire Yamaha SHS line and comparing them just so that I can rag on the Sonogenic, but possibly while punishing myself every time I rag on the Sonogenic 500. Jam mode sucks. Have a good night, everybody.